This is episode 103 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, and we're here to watch me get completely pasted today.
Well, there's some spoilers for how the game goes.
I think we can reveal this one relatively early.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It's interesting to, I think, it's more not so much the game result as why the game result, I suppose.
Yeah.
Tonight I am flying a variation of the list I took to the Welsh Open. Some of the changes that I discussed last week, which basically involves swapping out wedge and hull in the A-wing and Y-wing for chopper in the VCX. He gets a dorsal turret, veteran turret gunner, and Saw Gerrera. Cool. Many crits. He's going to die. Can I get 6 points for him? Sabine was supposed to have Lone Wolf as opposed to Beskar reinforced plating, and it wasn't until we started playing that I realised I'd used the XWS from the list I'd saved for the Welsh Open, but never mind. What have you brought, Sam?
So I brought a random salad, basically. So I'm moving on from the 8-ship droid swarm. I might go back to it in the future, but I just need to do something different. So this is essentially a variation of my Welsh Open Day 2 I want to use on my alt arts list. And we have Dirge in the Rogue class with Treacherous, Proton Cannons, and Contraband Cybernetics. Siege of Coruscant Dis T81 with Outmaneuver, Afterburners, and Contingency Protocol. And he's reroll boy, reroll everything. Cad Bane with Treacherous, Proton Cannons, the Xanadu Blood Title, and General Grievous crew. Pre Vizsla in the Gauntlet with Bo-Katan crew, Veteran Tailgunner, Mando Optics, and the Swivel Wing. And then the Iron Assembler with Discord Missiles and Independent Calculations and Struts.
Nice.
So just a salad of good solo ships, really.
Yeah, because I mean, I looked at this and went, all right, Dirge, hard to kill. Both Cad Bane and Dirge, proton cannons mixed with Dead to Rights is a dangerous combination. I know from experience of playing against you how much pre-Vizsla can smack you in the face. And the other droids outmaneuver on a 3-dice gun is always good.
Yeah, outmaneuver on a 3-dice, re-rolling all attack dice. Gun is just going to be useful, and the Iron Assembler is the Iron Assembler.
He's got disc gold missiles. That's enough to be a pain. And
yeah.
So we're playing Salvage Mission on this game. We have brought what is fast becoming our standard rocks. Sam's got the 3 Pride of Mandalore. I've got the 2 large Pride of Mandalore debris and the large rock, because I think they are the 3 biggest you can get. Objective-wise, we basically set up in a pinwheel. It's a slightly off cross. Basically, we've got one as close to each other's board edge as we can on each side. One in the middle for me as close as possible, and your one is just slightly towards your left-hand side.
Yeah.
And then rocks, we end up with the 3 Pride of Mandalores clustered, as I'm looking at it, my bottom right corner, from sort of the centre to a 2 and 2 in the right, and then 1 in the centre near my board edge to make a little triangle there. The debris top right looking towards you. Another debris top left just a third of the way across. And then a large rock 2 and 2 in my left-hand corner.
Yeah, and these rocks are interesting because for me, I was like, well, there's lots of wide open space, which is what I want. And so I was happy.
See, now it's interesting because I was thinking the same thing, purely because one of the lessons I took from the Welsh Open was I was setting my rocks up very close together, trying to get a nice little cluster in the middle that Han can circle around the edge and get trick shots into the centre. And I found that wasn't happening as much as I thought. What was happening was I needed Han to go into the centre, and he couldn't because there were too many rocks in the way, or it compromised where I wanted to go. So actually, me trying to spread out a little bit more because they're all reasonably large rocks, Han can still get the trick shots. And actually, I think trick shot, you shouldn't play for it. If you get it, great, it's nice. If you don't, it's more important he's range 1 of a obstacle.
Yeah.
And I think having them spread out gives him the greatest, I suppose, opportunity to do what he needs to do and still stay range 1.
Yeah, because my thought was like, I can't actually prevent Han from being range 1 of a rock if Han wants to be in a relevant position. So I was like, let's just make sure there's big gaps so that trick shot is trickier to get when we're not in a giant cluster. And if we end up in a giant cluster, then we end up in a giant cluster. You were going to get it no matter what. Yeah. Which is why I was basically aiming for, like, on your side, as close as possible to each other, just to be annoying.
Yeah. So we roll. Well, I say we've already rolled off, and Sam was first player for this. We overlap at initiative 1, 3, and 5.
What's your initiative 1? Chopper's 2.
Oh, sorry. I meant. Yeah, sorry. I was just reading your initiatives. Yeah. Shits and giggles. Yeah, so we don't. 3 and 5 is what I meant.
Yeah. So the Iron Assembler goes first. And he gets deployed facing along my board edge, just to the left of center, so he can basically turn in and grab a crate.
I was willing to bet a large sum of money, like many months' salaries, that there's a hard turn coming turn 1.
Yep, it is what it is.
So Chopper sets up on the right-hand side of the obstacle that's 2 and 2 in my bottom right to go down that board edge. I'm not sure how the joust goes. I mean, Sam's got proton cannons on 2 ships and dead to rights, but I've got double tapping Chopper with Saw crit generation. I've got Han who can double tap. I've got a protorp from Luke. It's interesting. All right, I probably don't kill Dirge, but I don't think I'd go for Dirge.
Yeah.
My actual concern was Cad, particularly because of Cad's ability. I didn't want him throwing shed. No, I didn't want him getting the free.
Cad.
Yeah, no, but he gets the free coordinate, right?
No, he gets a free action.
Oh, is it just him? Is it?
Yeah, just him.
Oh, okay. That was me misread. I thought he got effectively a free coordinate.
No, basically, when someone dies at range 3, he gets a free action, even while stressed.
But yeah, so like I wasn't, because I have to set up before you set up any of your other ships, and no one really cares about the Iron Assembler. I put him there. If you set up in the other side, cool, we can go towards the crate that's on the far right, pick that up and turn into the centre. If not, we're probably ignoring the crate, so...
Yeah. So I deploy Vizsla in the very bottom left, opposite Chopper, but not directly opposite Chopper. And just say, basically I'm saying, like, let's see how this goes. Because my thought was, because obviously Viz's ability doesn't work on Chopper, but my thought was, if no one higher initiative deploys with Chopper, then great, I've got a fight with the Ghost. And it doesn't go great for Vizsla himself, but I'll have friends.
Yeah.
And then Sabine.
Yeah, I set up Sabine in the middle of my board, just below the objective there, on the just slightly to the right, so I can basically one hard, do 2 slow moves, pick up the crate. Sabine will tick those points up. That's what she's there for.
And I'd then deploy Dis on the very far right as far possible, as far forward as possible. The idea being, like, he's just going to move forward and go around the flank if no one comes on that side. Maybe go Sabine hunting, and maybe not. It would depend where Sabine actually ends up. And then my CAD gets deployed directly opposite Chopper, trying to line up that proton cannon, and I put him far forward, which lets me put Dirge right behind Cad Bane, again lining the proton cannon up with Chopper, and I say to Sean, what do you want to do about it?
So at this point, what do I want to do about it? There isn't much choice, because I can't leave Chopper by himself there, or he just dies.
Yeah.
Like, straight out. Like, alright, maybe I do some serious damage the first engage. Maybe I die before I get... I've got 14 health, but no greens. I mean, probably a reinforce, but...
But that wouldn't help against the proton cannons because they're dead to rights.
Dead to rights. So, yeah, it's an interesting conundrum, but I think I just don't think I can leave him there. So I set up Luke to the right of Chopper, Cool. We'll go in together, and I set up hand to the left, just on the inside of the obstacle on the bottom 2 and 2, because he's got a nice lane through the 3 Pride of Mandalore rocks. I set him up with the turret side to side, just in case, for some reason you turn away or it doesn't quite go how I expect. I've got options to move towards the centre. It also, I'm thinking maybe I do a slow bank and I end up with a nice shot onto the Iron Assembler as well as the rogues.
Yeah.
And the third thought was, depending on how I get it, I want to try and jump past the rogues, just in case you try and catch me out by like, oh, I'm going for chopper, sneaky bank in to try and line up that bullseye on the Falcon. So, yeah.
Because Han doesn't like proton cannons much more than Chopper does.
No, exactly. And, alright, Han's only worth 1 more point than Chopper, but I'd argue he's a much bigger threat.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's up. And we crack onto the game. And we roll off an I am first player for turn 1.
So, no system phase. The Iron Assembler does a 2 hard to the right, and I believe he double calculates.
Yeah, and mentally I win myself some money. Oh, no, you single calculate.
Oh, single calculate. Yeah. Well. Oh, yeah, so I was like, maybe I 1 hard next turn. Who knows? But whatever.
So Chopper 1 straights and calculates because... no, maybe Wristmate. Am I right in thinking that the rogues don't have a 1 straight?
They don't have a 1 straight. No. They are 2 straight.
I didn't think they had a 1 straight. So what I need to do is go slow and then try and jump in to the second engage to get a range 1 engagement. I don't think I get far enough to get a bump, but the 2 straight, there's too much chance that you've done a 5 and a focus into a boost.
Yeah.
And then I'm taking 2 proton cannons, that first one. So 1 straight, 4 straight the next turn is the plan.
Yeah.
Sabine does a 1 hard to the left and takes an evade.
And Vizsla does a 2 straight and then focus. And we get, I guess, to the first stage of my error is that I really should have just committed to this. Because my thought with the moves is I'm doing the moves that are slow enough so that the rogues can't get auto-locked by Luke's Protorp. But Vizsla can't go slow enough to stop that. So if Sean's doing it, I should just commit with all the ships I want to start fighting.
Yeah. And so fun enough...
I 2 straight and evade, and I 2 straight and evade with Dirge in a sec, I believe.
Now spoilers. Spoilers. I do a 2 straight with Luke. And maybe I should have, because I didn't have the bullseye to worry about. Maybe I should... But I was wary of... Alright, Vizsla can still throw 4 dice at me.
4 dice,
at range 3, right? And 5 dice at range 1. So, like, we all know Luke either lives forever or whimpers and dies, and I couldn't afford for him to whimper and die, like, turn 1. I need all of them engaging at the same time so that you have to choose. Or more so, whoever you choose to focus fire on, I can punish you with everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't think it was worth the risk.
And then Dirge does a 2 straight and focuses.
Hand, however, does a 4 straight. Purely because, again, bullseyes don't think are relevant. Didn't think you'd have range because we're offset, and it gives me more options to get past you the next turn.
Yeah.
We check and nobody's in range. So we go over to turn 2. Which actually I think is an interesting turn. Or is the interesting turn.
I think this is the game deciding turn.
Yeah.
Or at least, maybe not deciding, like, dice could have brought me back into it. But this set the tone of the game, and it was very hard for me to recover.
Yeah.
And so, I win priority. The Iron Assembler does a 2 straight and double calculates on the debris in front of him.
Chopper does his 4 straight, and reinforces to the front. No, I don't. I take a target lock, because I was going to reinforce, And I thought, what's the point? All right, this is going to smash me, but the dead to rights stop it, because I was assuming even if I don't take 2 proton cannons, I'm in the 2 bullseyes.
Yeah.
So I think the action for adding 1 evade probably isn't worth it. So I take a lock onto CAD, in the hope that A, you haven't gone fast enough to bump me, and B, with Saw and a target lock, that should, in theory, be a lot of damage coming in.
Yes. So Vizsla, I believe that is a 4 straight.
Yep.
And I focus, I think. He's just going fast. He's basically I want range 1 in Luke. I want to throw a hammer at you.
So being 1 hard, I ummed and ahed about trying to shift her beforehand, but where...
Oh yeah, we forgot Dis. Dis last round 5 straighted and boosted to the left.
So I saw where Dis was, but I was like, okay, he can come in. He can probably get me in the side, but it'll be obstructed. So outmaneuver kind of cancels, which I'm kind of all right with. And I think the opportunity to try and start ticking up some points is worth it. So I pick up the crate.
Yeah. CAD does a 3 straight, and the moment that Chopper revealed a 4 straight, I knew I'd gone too fast. So I'm now almost certainly range 1 of Chopper, which means my proton cannon is offline. And this is where I guess in the game of chicken, I blink. Because I do a focus barrel roll to the left in the hope that Luke has just gone straight towards me and I can line up a proton cannon into Luke. And this is the chain of events that is my undoing, because Dirge is now now Disco's, and he does a 4 straight. I'm looking at that rock and I'm not feeling confident, so I barrel roll to the right just to try and line up the outmaneuver onto Sabine. Maybe I get lucky. Dirge then does a 3 straight, and he is not at range 1 of Chopper, and so I elect to focus. But the problem I've done now is I've now split my proton cannons,
and I think that is the mistake.
Yeah,
like
no matter which way I did it, I needed both of the rogues to be bullseyeing the same person.
Yeah,
I functionally don't think it matters which way I chose, but I've split it because I'm hedging my bets. But it had Dirge barrel rolled. Now all of a sudden Luke's in 2 proton cannons, and he has to really think carefully about firing that proton torpedo.
Yeah, like the likelihood is Luke doesn't. Luke barrel rolls out of it, but at least you're costing me that proton torpedo.
Yes, there's no proton, and the rogues can still shoot Chopper, who has not reinforced.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the splitting kind of allows me to... All right, I'm taking 1, but that's 1. And Luke's got the Force, so Dead to Rights doesn't work on that.
Yeah,
it's more the just pure. I know how dangerous proton cannons can be.
Yeah, it's more the pure like, do you really want to take 8 red dice?
Yeah. And also, you have a natural tendency to roll 1 natural crit on proton cannons. It's 2 of them. But because of that, I take a lock onto CAD because I'm reasonably sure that Chopper's still got a range 1 shot. It's close, so I'll see, but I'll definitely get a proton into him as well. And then Han does another 4 straight, because as I said, I wanted to try and scoot past. There's enough space for me to certainly hard turn to the left past the debris. And I personally think banking, maybe not a 1 bank, but certainly a 2 bank.
A 2 bank should definitely do it.
And he takes a double focus.
So I launch my Discord missile at Han. We know it's going to collect. I still launch it anyway, and then it's like, oh, it's gone right underneath. We can't get it. So I add another one to him, and we'll fix it later.
Yeah,
but now Han has a Discord missile on his front. But in about 15 turns, he'll die to that.
Does he?
I mean...
I don't think he does. I'm sure he should. But yeah.
Oh, sorry, 13 turns. If you do nothing about it.
Oh yeah, exactly. But it is a kind of, I'm gonna have to do something at some point. But I've got 5 shields. I've got some time, so.
Like my thought was the Iron Assembler's likely dying.
Oh, I don't blame you for launching.
Chance.
I don't blame you for launching it at all. I would have in your situation. But I kind of like, for me, it's like it's more of an annoyance than a Christ, I've got to do something. So we go to Han, who has a range 1 into Dirge, a range 2, I think, into everyone else. I go range 2 into Cad first, because he's the one I can get 3 shots on. I roll 2 hits and a focus. I spend 1 for 3.
I roll double blank, so I Grievous and just take 2.
And then I think I go range 3 into the Gauntlet. Or possibly Dirge
I think Dirge is
just
range
range 2. I roll some junk, so I Han it into 2 hits.
Then Dirge rolls blank focus. Oh, no, it is Vizsla. Vizsla must be range 2 then, because I'm rolling 2 dice and I take 2 shields on Vizsla.
Okay. And then we go to your 5.
Yeah, so Dirge has the proton cannon, but I actually elect to go into Luke with the primary. And again, this is literally I've split my proton cannons, and I'm like, well, now my best shots are into Luke, because I wasn't sure if Vizsla had chopper or not. So I just start plinking, because I just didn't think putting a proton cannon into chopper was worth it at this point, because all it does is, if I roll hot, all it does is plink your shields off.
See, I disagree. Because, the moment you plink my shields off, I've got to be much more wary about saw and crits. True. And also, if you move the camera around, Vizsla does have chopper.
Yeah.
I think going into chopper here would have been the better call. Because 2 dice with just a focus on 3 with the force
is not likely to do anything.
No. I personally, because you can get 2 good shots onto chopper, I would have gone into chopper. But that's me. I would have considered, depending on how Cad still going into.
Yeah, true.
This
is me. I've mentally defeated myself. I think at this point, I'm like, well, now I'm all in. Luke, I'm mentally, a Cad I think is dead.
Yeah.
So I have to all in and trade.
See, whereas I'm thinking, Luke's got to shoot first. So wait and see how much force he uses on the top. If I get a good roll and don't use any force or use 1. I probably go into chopper, because you can get 3 good shots into chopper.
Yeah, true.
But you do go into Luke. You roll 2 hits. I roll 1 evade, so I take a shield. I then return the Protorp into Cad. I roll 2 focuses and 2 hits, so I spend both force for 3 and a crit.
Cad rolls a single evade, so hit crit into Cad Bane.
Can't remember why we're looking for. Oh, you're looking.
Oh, I'm checking for treacherous.
You're checking for treacherous. Oh, that's it. I was trying to, because it's weird. The lines are going. And we're having a look, but treacherous does trigger, I believe.
Yeah. So I strain Vizsla and cancel 1 of the hits. So I've taken 2 damage on that onto Cad Bane, because I cancel the crit. That's what I do.
You cancel the crit. Roll 1 of age. Yeah, took 2 damage.
Then we go to my 4s. So Dis has a range 3 obstructed outmaneuver shot into Sabine. I roll crit blank blank. I re-roll 2 of the dice into blank blank.
I believe I roll an evade.
Yeah.
So we then go to Cad.
So I have range 1 into chopper or a proton cannon into Luke, and I go for the proton cannon into Luke, and I roll focus triple blank.
Yeah, that's a sad proton cannon,
and I feel a little bit sad.
I roll 2 evades.
So I change it to a crit, but 2 evades, and now I'm thinking, oh, this is bad.
It's bad, but the flip side is I probably don't do much more than take Cad out.
Yeah,
and it's not like he's a linchpin.
No, he's not a linchpin, but
I suppose the flip side is you've lost him, but you've caused Luke to use a Protorp, so at least that's one of those gone. Han, can't hard turn to the right and start coming behind your list. But yeah, go to Vizsla.
Yep, and so I range 2 into Luke. I trigger Vizsla's ability to get a 4th dice. I roll hit, focus, spend the focus for 3 hits.
I roll 2 focuses. I've gained both force back from defending against Cad and Vizsla. So I spend both of those again and just take the last shield. Chopper range 1s into Cad. I roll, I believe, 5 focuses.
Yep.
So unsurprisingly, I opt to take a damage to turn those all to crits.
I roll, I think, a single evade. It doesn't really matter at this
I mean,
point.
to be fair, double evade, you still would have gone down. The moment it was 5 paint, it was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Large chain of damage, and Cad Bane is dead.
And then I veteran tail gunner into Vizsla because I do catch his back corner. So not veteran tail, veteran turret gunner with my dorsal. I roll hits, focus, blank. I am an R, but I think it's probably not worth spending the crit for taking damage for 1 crit.
I mean, maybe. Like, I'm strange, so I'm only rolling 1 dice.
And I think I may have missed that because maybe I would have if I'd remembered, but that's on me.
Yeah.
Then the Iron Assembler.
The Iron Assembler. Range 1 into hand. Maybe I can plink off some of these shields. I roll hit, focus, spend my calculator for hit.
I roll a blank. I hand into a blank. And take 2 shields. And then the Discord takes a third.
Yes, all right. The countdown is on. But it's 5-0 to Sean.
Yes. But also, like I'm
not out of it yet.
Yeah.
Luke has lost his shields. Dis is still an annoying person. The Iron Assembler's done whatever he needs to do, and now he's just going to be an annoying little 2-dice gun.
And we all know how pain in the ass Dirge is to kill, so
Yeah.
I'm still looking at this going, yeah, I've still got work to do. We roll off, and I'm first player for turn 3.
So in this system phase, I spent a charge on Mandalorian Optics and take a target lock onto Luke. On Pre-Vizsla. The Iron Assembler rotates 90 degrees to the right because I'm pretty sure hand's going that way, and I double calculate.
Chopper attempts a 4K, but it bumps into Dirge. And then we quickly get the Rage Ruler out because I'm curious how far it is, and I actually think it was pretty close.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the way it is. So I'm kind of okay with that because I still got a shot into the back of the Iron Assembler. Sabine does 2 straight, and focuses, because I was not sure what to do here because I didn't think I could get to a place where I was going to be out of the Tri-Fighters arc. A hard turn away, I thought you could turn in and then boost round. Yeah, you'd be depleted, but you're still just shooting me in the bum, you don't care. So it's like, at least this way, the likelihood is, if you hard turn in and then boost, you're probably in my arc.
Yeah.
So at least I've got Beskar protection against crits, and at least unless I die, which focus 3 greens is unlikely. Especially considering I think you'd have to 1 hard.
Yeah, I'd have to 1 hard, so I still have 1 of the depletes.
Exactly.
Like, I was going to have 1 anyway.
Yeah.
I was going to have 1 no matter what.
So I thought it was worth the risk. So yeah, just take the
Vizsla
focus.
does a 2 hard to the right into the centre of the board, and just focuses, I think.
I have to admit, this caught me out. I was not expecting that. I was either expecting a stop, and I was about to say 4K, but they don't have a turnaround, do they?
No, they don't have a turnaround. They just have to stop. Because my thought was like, I need to get Vizsla double tapping, so let's get into the centre. So Dis does a 1 hard to the left, and I'm looking at the angle. I'm like, I can boost and get a shot into Sabine, but then I'll eat a shot. And I think I had PTSD from Cad just dying, and I was like, I'm not sure I want to trade shots with Sabine. I just feel like that will go badly for me. So I just sit there.
So it's interesting. I'm happy with that because it means Sabine isn't taking a shot.
Yeah.
But I also think it's probably the right call on your part as well. So
yeah. Because like the upside is, I guess I kill Sabine, and the downside is I lose Dis because it could happen. So I just sit there. And then it is
Luke.
you.
Who does a 3 bank, which I'm okay with because that's banked in between Chopper and Vizsla, so I'm not taking a shot there. And I believe I opt. I opt barrel roll to the right behind the back of Chopper because I wasn't sure where where Dirge was going. And if Dirge has done a maneuver that takes him past Chopper, it's highly unlikely he's shooting me. And I've got a shot into the Iron Assembler. But also, if Dirge bumps, I'm not in bullseye anymore. Not that that's hugely relevant, but well, proton cannon. So,
I still have the proton cannon.
Yeah. So yeah.
So I do a 2 straight, I believe, which does bump into Chopper, and then I take a red focus because at this point in time I've forgotten Chopper's ability. It's just as simple as that.
That's fair. Han does a 3 sloop.
So I place the Discord missile on his front.
Because in a classic short move, I just slightly underguessed where it would be, and I thought there's a chance that the side-to-side arc still catches the Iron Assembler. I mean, it's not a million miles away.
It's not a million miles away, but in hindsight, maybe just doing it too hard.
Yeah. But, hey. But also, I was thinking that it's the quickest way to get Han back in towards the Gauntlet.
That's true.
Who's like my next target, basically. So yeah, Han has no shot.
Yeah, but Chopper jams off Dirge's focus, which I just forgot was a thing. It's as simple as that.
Which is, to be fair, I should have reminded you, but I remembered you scooting over my list, so
I did, like, I looked at it and saw the ability, and then in the moment was just like, oh yeah, red focus here.
That's fair. But no, it's partially, it was a friendly game. I should have mentioned it. I just didn't clock it at the time.
Yeah.
But so Luke does have a range 1 shot into Dirge. I roll hit, focus, blank. I spend a force for 2 hits.
I roll focus, blank. No, I don't. I roll evade blank and take.
No, you don't. You did spend focus blank because you've just spent.
You're shooting the Iron Assembler. That's why. I spent to calculate because we already know that Dirge's focus was removed.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So yeah,
the Iron Assembler takes 1 damage.
1 damage on the Iron Assembler. Yeah, of course, because it would have been 4 dice otherwise. So I believe Dirge shoots Luke back because I get a force back.
Yeah. Range 1. I roll hit blank.
I roll 2 blanks. So that's 2 damage to on Luke.
Dis has no shots. Sabine has no shots. Vizsla has no shots.
So then it's the Chopper. So I believe I range 1 into the Iron Assembler.
It is obstructed.
It is obstructed. I roll blank, blank, hit, crit, focus. I opt to soar for that 1 extra focus because I'm like, if I get 1 through, there is a chance of killing him.
Yeah, makes sense. I roll blank, blank, focus, spend my calculate for 1 evade.
But you're taking 2 crits, so he's dead.
Yes.
And then I can't veteran turret gunner because can't shoot that at range 0.
Yes.
Like maybe I could have.
You could have done it the other way around.
I could have done it the other way around, but also unmodded. Then it's only 3 dice, not 4. Yeah. I kind of felt doing the Iron Assembler, if I can kill him, who then doesn't get a shot into Han, is probably more important than an unmodded.
Because the moment Han's shields come off, that Discord missile is a heck of a lot more dangerous.
Yeah. And also, Dirge is stressed, so Dirge isn't turning around on me next turn, so I don't need to worry about that.
Aha, that's what you think. I have contraband.
Yeah, but I forgot that at the time.
Yeah, I don't remember if I even use contraband here. I'm pretty sure I don't.
I score a point for the crate that
Sabine is
carrying. It's currently 8-0. Yeah, it's
interesting. Like Luke is bleeding, so I can score points like that. My current problem is getting Vizsla like really into the game.
Whereas I was looking at it at the moment going, if Vizsla just goes fast, where can I put Sabine where she just doesn't get smashed?
Yeah.
Like
because Vizsla's ability is back online.
Yeah. So we go to turn 4, and I am first player. Chopper just does 1 straight because I know that isn't going to clear Dirge. I opt not to take the red focus because I want to 4K the next turn.
Yep, makes sense.
Or possibly bank round, but I'd rather not be stressed, leave my options open. Sabine does a 3 hard away from the gauntlet and takes a focus.
The gauntlet does a 2 hard into chasing after Chopper and takes a focus.
At which point
I'm secretly hoping that Luke is 3 banking.
At which point I'm a little bit sad because I'm like, damn, I could have turned Sabine in, but never mind. Dis turns in.
Dis, I do a 2 hard to the right. Basically just trying to make sure I cleared Sabine. Because at this point, I kind of literally like, okay, I made my pass at Sabine. It didn't work. She's no longer worth it for Dis to chase. Yeah. And I need to get his gun into the fight. So I just take an evade and get clear for a move next turn.
So Luke does do that 3 bank. Because I wasn't expecting the 2 hard from Visitor. So it puts him right in the front at range 1. I ain't barrel rolling out of that one. I opt to take the focus. And then
Dirge must have bumped because we have skipped over him.
Oh, we must. Yes, I believe he did.
Yeah, 2 straight clear of stress, I'm pretty sure.
Han does a 3 hard. Basically just trying to... I thought Vizsla would be going straight through that gap, so I wanted to line up the shot. I'm happy, it's range 1. I've still got, of the objectives, I've still got rerolls. That's okay. So we go to Han, who does a range 1 into Vizsla. I roll hit and 3 blanks, so I hand that into 2 hits and 2 focuses.
I roll 2 evades. Go Vizsla.
Luke has no shot. Oh no, hang on. Oh no, so Luke shoots the Discord missiles. We check range. I roll hit, focus, blank. I quickly check with you how many hull they've got. And then I spend the force for 2 hits.
I roll an evade, but it doesn't matter. The buzz droid is gone. So I range 0 into Chopper. I get 1 hit.
Which goes through.
And then Vizsla, range 1, triggers his ability into Luke, and I throw 5 dice with a target lock and a focus into him. I roll, I believe, a great big pile of nothing, because I reroll everything. And I end up with 2 crits, 2 focuses. What did I... Why not?
Didn't you...
Why do I not?
Didn't you 3 hard last turn, then 2 hard in, so you'd still be stressed, right?
Am I still stressed? I can't tell.
Because you've re-rolled with the target lock, but you haven't spent the focus.
Yeah, I must have not had a focus.
So you end up with 2 crits.
Yep.
I roll evade focus and spend the force.
So nada from Vizsla. Oh no.
And then it goes to Chopper, because no one else has any shots. Range 0s into Dirge for hit crit.
I roll single evade, so that is a crit onto Dirge. First shield gone.
Then I tick up another point for 9-0. And I'm like, Luke is lucky to be alive. But I've got rid of the Discord missiles before I lost my shields, which was the important bit. So we're going to turn 5, and Sam is first player. Only overlapping... Oh no, still overlapping on the 5s. But it is Chopper first, who... So pre-Vizsla does a system phase Mando optics.
Yep.
Gain the
Who
lock.
do I lock?
You lock Chopper.
Lock Chopper, okay.
Chopper completes the 4K he wanted to do 2 turns ago.
Yeah, and then Vizsla 1 banks to the right.
Yeah, you are still stressed. You can see it there.
I must have, because well, I clear it here. I went back to the right and bumped into Luke because my thought was I thought Han might peel around behind Vizsla, so I was trying to line up the rear turret to just shoot at him. And I was like, well, I got to start shooting something.
Yeah.
So I clear the stress, take the red focus after bumping into Luke, and I have a target lock focus into Chopper.
Sabine does a 3 hard around the bottom left rock. Takes a focus. She can stick around there and collect points. That's fine.
This does a 2 hard to the right, coming in to face the enemy. Then I take an evade and barrel roll to the left to land in front of Han. Vizsla, I believe, is doing a 3 straight focus boost because I just wanted to get him. Sorry, not Vizsla. Dirge is doing a 3 straight within a focus boost. I just wanted to get him out of the way and out of the line of death and try and turn around and start shooting people who are close to death. Or not. Or anyone. Literally anyone. Dirge, shoot someone.
Yep. Luke takes a disarm, activates R2D2, and regains a shield. 3 banks away to the right. And then barrel rolls to the right because I didn't want to take the outmaneuver shot from Dis, and I wasn't sure if it put me into the Arc of Vizsla, and it's 50-50. And then obviously we click barrel roll, and I'm like, yeah, it does put me in the Arc, but that is what it is. And then Hand does a 1 straight, clears the stress, lands just in, literally just in front of Dis, and double focuses.
That's making me sad.
So I range 1 into Dis. I roll hit, focus, blank, blank. I hand that into 2 hits, a crit, and a focus, so I spend.
I roll blank, focus, focus. I reroll all 3 of them with disability for 2 evades and a focus. Spend my evade for 3 evades.
And just take the crit, which is a fuel leak. I then hand I then hand into or double tap with Biston into Vizsla. It's range 2 unobstructed. I roll 2 hits.
I roll evade focus. I take a damage. No, I spend the focus.
You spend the focus.
I check Dirge's arc. Nothing.
Luke, nothing.
Luke, nothing. Dis doesn't quite have Luke, so I just take the range 1 into Han. I roll 4 hits.
Nice. I roll a blank. I hand into an evade, so I take 3. That is the shield's gone and 2 damage through.
And then Vizsla, I didn't actually notice it at the time, has Chopper range 3 obstructed and misses Han by the skin of his bloody teeth. It is by the skin of its teeth, isn't it? I didn't notice it at the time. So I take the shot into Chopper. Because of Mandalorian optics, as long as I keep the target lock, the obstruction doesn't apply. Unfortunately, I roll hit focus focus, so I have to spend a lock, and I roll it into focus focus.
I roll 1 evade.
So you dodge it,
which is quite nice from a ghost. And then the ghost returns fire. I roll 1 hit, 3 blanks.
I roll 1 evade and 2 blanks.
Yeah. There we are. That's that. I tick up 1 more point. However, what I am looking at is the fact that you've got a nice tri-fighter that's taken a fuel leak and has 3 strains on it.
Yeah. Look, it was either that or die. So.
Oh yeah, no, I completely get that.
I feel like the fact that the tri-fighter survived to me just tells me that Dis's ability is fantastic.
Oh yeah. So we roll off, and I'm first player for turn 6. I do a 2 straight with the Chopper because I'm pretty sure it's the fastest blue they can. And I was kind of hoping that if you turn in, maybe I bump the gauntlet onto the debris.
Yeah,
it's iffy, but we'll go for it. And then I reinforce to the front. Sabine does a 2 bank around the bottom rock and takes a focus.
Vizsla, I believe that is a 1 bank to the right, and I just bump straight into the ghost. I don't take a red focus because I've already done this one before. Dis does I believe that is a 3 straight over the top of Han. I clear I clear a stress and 1 of the strains, and I boost to the left with afterburners, and then I think I evade barrel roll to the left, trying to just catch Luke in arc.
Luke does a 2 hard to the left, and then opts to barrel roll in because I'll take that. Well, A, I don't want to outmaneuver, and B, I'll take that 1-on-1 when I'm a higher initiative. You're strained, it's 4-on-2, you've got 2 left. I've got 2 force. Cool.
Dirge then does a 2 bank to the right, clears the stress, and then I just focus boost to the right.
Han does a 3 hard to the right, just try and keep some distance from people, and I double focus. So Han only has a range 2 shot into the tri-fighter. I don't have an obstacle at range 1. Why am I re-rolling? Oh, I must have pressed R. So I must have rolled crit focus blank, spend 1 focus for hit crit.
I roll blank blank, reroll both into blank blank.
So that's a Trifighter dead. Luke has no shot.
Then Dirge has range 3 into hand or range 3 obstructed into Luke, and so at this point I just go, fuck it, go Luke. Sorry for the swearing here. And I roll 2 hits.
I roll evade focus blank, so spend 1 force for 2 evades.
Vizsla has range 0 into the ghost, so I take that and I get 1 hit.
Which goes through, so shields are down. I then range 1 you back, roll 4 focuses, and I'm very sad I can't soar a range 0. But yeah. Then I collect another point for 15-0.
And at this point, anyone listening can probably tell this isn't going to go well for me.
So we go into turn 7, and I am first player. Chopper 4Ks again, because I don't think there's anywhere the gauntlet can go that isn't in his arc. I don't really care about the stress, because Saul's my mods. Sabine does a 3 hard and takes a focus.
Vizsla stops, rotates 90 degrees to the left to try and put the Luke in the front arc and Chopper in the back arc.
This makes me very happy. Like, all right, cool. I'm getting a probably range 1 double tap into him with Chopper.
Yeah, but my thought here was like, if I'm going to do anything here, it's not going to be just trading with Chopper with Vizsla.
Oh, no, I agree.
I just need to hope that Sean's forgotten that Vizsla can turn.
Oh, no. Which is why Luke does like a 4 straight. He is out of there. He barrel rolls it to the left because I want Dirge to either overshoot or bump.
I do a 2 straight, which bumps into Luke, and I take the red focus, because at this point, why not?
And then
maybe I line up Han.
And then Han does a 2 bank to come round the top objective. And I opt to pick up the crate. And actually, maybe I should have boosted there to get out of bullseye, but yeah, it is what it is. I have a range 3 shot into Dirge. I do have the obstacle at range 1 now. I roll focus crit hit. I opt to hand that into focus blank. Now, well, never mind.
I proton cannon into Han. I roll 3 hits and a blank. I change one of the hits into a crit.
I roll 2 blanks. I Han into evade focus, so I take hit crit. I drop the crate. The crit is a fuel leak. Then Sabine has a range 3 shot into Dirge. She rolls 1 hit.
I roll blank focus, spend my focus for 1 evade. Then Vizsla has a range 1 out the bomb shot into Chopper, so I take it. And I roll blank hit. I Bo-Katan one of the blanks into a hit.
So I just take 2 hits. Then I range 1 primary Chopper back into you. I roll 4 hits and a blank.
I roll an evade, so that's 3 damage.
Then I veteran turret gunner. I roll hit crit focus. I saw the focus into a crit for 2 crits.
I roll an evade, so I take 2 crits.
Which are wounded pilot and damaged engine.
So Vizsla's on 2.
And then I take up another point for 16-0.
Yeah, and at this point, there's not a whole lot I can do other than just try and spite kill Luke or Han, really.
We roll off, and you're first player for turn 8. Chopper 2 banks into the gauntlet and focuses. Red focuses. No, I don't red focus, because what's the point? I got saw.
The gauntlet does a 2 bank to the left, flips the wings back into normal mode, and focuses, and then rolls the wounded pilot and doesn't take a stress.
Sabine 2 hards away and takes a focus.
Dirge 2 hards to the left, and then boost to the left, hoping to sort of either catch Sabine doing something silly or maybe Luke if he's gone left.
Luke does go left with a 2 hard, but isn't in anyone's arc.
Yeah.
So I barrel roll in towards Vizsla, so I've got an easier cut through a gap and away from your ships. And then Han does a 3 hard and double focuses. Han has the gauntlet at, I believe, range 2. I roll hit double blank, so I hand that into crit double blank.
I roll blank focus, so I take a crit.
The crit
on 1
is, I believe, a panicked pilot because I've got rid of it straight away.
Dirge has a range 3 shot into Sabine, and I roll 2 hits.
I roll many evades.
And then Vizsla finally gets to shoot out the front and back, so does so. I trigger my ability to roll an extra dice into Han, and I get 4 dice out the front. I get hit, focus blank, spend my focus for 3 hits.
I roll 1 evade, so I take 2.
Then out the back into Chopper, I roll focus hit.
And I obviously take it. Chopper goes range 2 into Vizsla. Rolls crit, hit, focus, saws the last one for 2 crits, 2 hits. Because that
Vizsla is dead.
Yeah.
I roll evade focus, and I take a giant whack of damage.
So yeah, that takes Vizsla off. I claim another point with Sabine for 22-0.
Yeah, I think it's 23-0 because we were on 16 a second ago.
Yes, there we go.
23-0. And ooh boy, did that like just never come back my way.
Yeah, and I still yeah, it all stems from that not having double bullseye on someone.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I don't think the barrel roll with Cad was wrong. I just think I needed to also do it with Dirge.
Yeah, it's either they both do or they both don't.
Yeah, and it basically set me up for failure because I then chose not to shoot Chopper. And you're right, actually. When I think about it, I should have thought about actually if I take the shields off Chopper, then every time you shoot, you've got to really think about soaring.
Yeah, exactly. The closer I get to death, the more I've got to think about it. And I say it's easy with that amount of hull. It's easier to get crit trains through, especially with proton cannons that are naturally generating them. So yeah. But no, it's an interesting test on both sides. Obviously, Sam and I are both practicing for the Tin Squadron Store event, Store Championship. That is, well, for us coming up next Saturday. As you listen to the podcast, the review will be in 2 episodes' time. But no, it's interesting. The problem is, I'm not sure I can fly the Ghost. Not because I don't want to fly the Ghost, but Kaylee is coming to the event, which she rarely comes to events. And she
has priority, simple as that.
Well, she had a heart set on flying triple Ghosts, and I only have 3 Ghosts, so we'll see. But
so you just have to suck it up.
Well, exactly. I'll keep practicing on it. Yeah, no.
Do you have a 6-point gauntlet? Replace the Ghost with a gauntlet. Done. Stick saw on it. You got about the same.
Well, I mean, Ezra's the 6-point gauntlet, isn't he?
There we go.
It's not quite the same.
It's not, no.
Those 8 dice at range 1 out the front.
Wait a minute, Chopper is in the gauntlet as well.
Yeah, Chopper's in the gauntlet.
There we go, sorted.
But yeah,
no problem. Straight swap.
It was an interesting test. Like, it wasn't one that many mistakes were in. Just one that leads the game
I think one big one that set me behind, and I didn't make the moves I needed to recover it.
Yeah, exactly.
Dis spent a turn too long not shooting. Because I think if Dis is shooting every turn until he dies, he puts out a lot of damage.
Yeah. Even with the deplete, because it's consistent damage. Well, that was...
Yeah, it was interesting. I've moved on from this list. Reacting to losses, results-based analysis. Now I'm just like, everyone tells me fire sprays are good. So if I just play enough fire sprays, I should eventually be able to fly them.
Well, spoilers, I'm guessing that's what I'm flying against when Sam and I record a game this week for the final practice before...
Possibly. It depends if I pivot back to gunships or not, because I like the gunships too much not to fly them.
Well, on Sam's indecision, we should probably wrap it up there for this week. We will be back next week with our final practice before our store event, and then the week after for a review. So that should be quite interesting.
Yeah.
So until then, I'll just say, see you guys next week.
And ta-ta. I'll try and learn how to boost with medium bases.
They always fit.
Yeah, pretty much.
See you guys later.
Bye.